I'm really pleased to be catching up with Bruce Skinner from Alto today on the Business Spotlight interview. Thank you, Bruce, for doing this. Welcome.
Hi, no worries. Thanks for inviting me along.
So just to start, tell us a bit about yourself and Alto. What is it that you do?
So in simple terms, we provide productivity, peace of mind, and a platform for growth for our clients and our team. We're an IT managed services provider, and it's in that context that we provide all that. And we've mainly focused on IT infrastructure, and cybersecurity has become a massive part of our business over the last 3 years. The pandemic has splintered people off, and you know, there's a lot of people working from home, so there's a lot people are more off guard, so cyber criminals have been rubbing their hands at that, and we've had to do a lot more protection work. So yeah, at the moment we do a lot of Microsoft 365 platform and product. That's our kind of main product that we work with, providing that kind of infrastructure. And we have a support team that looks after that. We do a lot of project work. And I would have said before the pandemic, we were maybe about 10% cybersecurity. We're probably about 30%. And I have a feeling that we'll probably be about 80 or 90% in the coming years. It's just, and infrastructure and IT support will just be part of that package. But yeah, it's been an interesting journey for me, because I started life 14 years ago running a franchise, which I bought myself out of the franchise in 2019. And then I bought my business from my business partner. We were 50-50 partners during the pandemic. So I really count Alto as, it's had kind of 3 iterations. It's had the franchise, it's had me and my business partner, now it's me and my own. So I really count it as a new start business from August 2020, and we've just grown it. So we went from me, my business partner, and 1 employee to 12 of a team since 2020.
Well done. Wow.
Yeah, it's been a really interesting journey, and we're looking for more people. So it's all good. 2023 is shaping up to be quite a growth year for us.
Fantastic. So how looking for more people, is that going to be a challenge? Everybody's talking about the talent crisis, and
yeah, I would say it's real. And I think you have to hire slowly, and make sure you get the right team members. What I've found is that we're hiring for technical and what we would term as business support. So that would be more in the sort of sales or administration side of things as well. And technical has been really challenging to get people, and the technical folk are, I don't know, I just think maybe they're the oil industry is or the energy industry is inflated wages in that area as well. So it makes it difficult for people to move, even though they're in a job they maybe don't like. They're actually quite stuck in the job they're doing. But we've recently advertised for people in business support, advertised for apprentices, and they've been a lot better in terms of CVs coming through, and candidates, and some really good candidates as well. So yeah, it's a mixed bag, and I would say that technical staff are difficult to come by, but it seems to be a bit easier when we're looking for trainee and business support.
I know you're looking for people locally. I mean, because you're an IT business, is virtual an option, or are you looking for people in Aberdeen?
Not at the moment. At this stage in the business, we're really looking for people who want to be part of a team physically in Aberdeen. Most of our business is in Aberdeen. Any business that we do out with Aberdeen tends to be branch offices of businesses that we support, although we do have a number. Since the pandemic, we've been doing so much more what I would say is down the wire, like support down the wire, just remote. And we do have quite a few clients that are out with Aberdeen, but it tends to be mostly the the Aberdeen-based people. So yeah, we are looking for people based in Aberdeen, but we do offer hybrid working and flexible working as well. We understand that you know, people have lives outside work, and sometimes it's quite handy to have that flexibility. So we do offer that.
Oh, well, there's a wee plug for you if anybody's looking for their next role in a technical IT role. That might be something at Alto.
Absolutely.
You've alluded to it there while you were talking, Bruce, about the changes that you've made since, well, we'll call it the big pause of 2020. Yeah.
Yeah.
How did that impact your business?
It was the best thing that ever happened to us. It allowed us accelerated decision making. It generated more income for us, and it was just it didn't feel like it at the time. Like when the government put us into lockdown, we were working 80-hour weeks, and it didn't feel like it. But if you look back on it, it was like, wow, that really accelerated decision making for us, and it got us into a much better place. So yeah, it's definitely affected our business in a positive way.
That's good to hear. Lots of businesses have been the same. I talked to a few that are a bit reluctant to admit it. They don't want to say it because so many businesses have, well, the media have pushed it, suggesting that it was a bad thing. But yeah, lots of businesses that have flourished through that time. So it's good to hear.
Yeah, so, I think you need a positive. You need to have some people that are positive, or else, you know, where would we be? We'd be on a spiral of negativity all the time. So yeah, I think some of us have to put our heads above the water and say, yeah, it was actually a good thing for us.
Yeah, me too. Yeah. So what are your aspirations for the next 5 years then? So you've had a few changes up until now. What's coming in 5 years' time?
Yeah, well, I wish I had a crystal ball. But yeah, what we found is with our business, we've actually found, or I found personally, a love for managing the energy of a team of people. And I didn't actually appreciate that was a job. And my business coach that I work with just laughed at me and said, you know, there are so many business owners that don't like that. They want to actually do the business. They want to be in it and providing the product. Whereas I've actually found a love for actually managing the energy of the people and holding the context of our internal vision. We have an internal vision of building a business of which we're proud. So that's kind of my responsibility. So the next 5 years, we want to add more people to the team. We have cultural values. We have 3 values: supportive, committed, and authentic. And we live them every day. And we want to see more people coming into this culture that we've developed, where there are no mistakes. It's only mistakes, as in we just haven't learned how to do it right. And it can be very challenging to get people actually to enjoy finding a mistake and learning from it. I think the education system sometimes just promotes the passing of exams and winning, where it's the journey that matters for us. So the 5-year journey will be people growth. That's where I really want to see it go. I want to have we already have a culture where I feel that people could and would want to break down the doors to come and work for us. You know, you don't want to go with the sort of like the obvious, but you know, the types of culture where you've got like a John Lewis or an Apple or something like that. That's the kind of culture that we've built here, and I just have a desire to grow that. And obviously, we're doing it from a space of technology. And that's been, you know, technology is a growth industry. So from that point of view, I feel it's the right place for us. So we want to see more people supporting more businesses. And whether that's in 5 years' time, we have 30, 60, up to 150 staff, whatever we manage to get to, then I'll just be proud of where we've got to in that time. 5 years is a little bit, I would say, crystal ball, but it's great to have that vision and the energy around that.
Yeah, that's brilliant. I love that your passion is building the team, because lots of people that I talk to are reluctant, or they've had a bad experience and go, that's the worst part, you know, that's the most challenging part. So what would you say to somebody who's at that early stage? And
so if I was at that early stage of building my business, I would start from the top down, build a business model where you have at least labeled and addressed and created a model for everything that your business needs. Don't put anything to the side. So for instance, the after vision and positioning, which were two of the projects we did when we first started the business, the next most obvious, which wasn't to me at the time, was to develop a culture. And quite often what happens is that businesses start for some reason. They know they can make money at something they're good at doing, and they just keep on doing that, and then they can make a margin at that, and that's great. But to actually turn that margin or multiply that margin into profit, you need to focus on the things that people would class as like the softer skills, or I don't like the word softer skills, I prefer the human skills. So the things like culture will actually multiply the margin that you make into a much bigger profit. That's why, for instance, Apple can charge whatever £2,000 for a computer, because it's all about the culture that they've got there. You just feel like, oh yeah, this is a brilliant product. I want to be part of this movement of Apple. So yeah, it's for me, it's about addressing all of it at the start, building out a structure of a business that you want to see. So we've got a kind of curiosity, let's say, around 150 people in our business. So we've already structured our business with the entire business model for those 150 people. Mm-hmm. We have a board of directors, we have shareholders, we have regular meetings, we measure and manage everything. And it's, you know, like I've got the hat for about, I don't know, 12 of the positions in the business right now. But yeah, as we grow, then we can fill those. So you've got to act from a place of being, just being the business that you want to be. And for me, that's about you know, the stuff that you guys would do at ActionCOACH. You would probably go down that route of mm-hmm. like, you know, here's the entire model of your business, do it today, sort of thing. So yeah, that would be my sort of advice for anybody starting out in business. And like 100% get a business coach, like without question.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
Couldn't agree more.
Yeah.
Yeah, so it's kind of start with the end in mind.
Yes, exactly. So typically people will act from a have, do, be situation. So once I have money, I will do what I want to do and be rich. But like, okay, that's a bit of a sort of like very simplistic version of it. But if you be, do, have, then you will actually have more chance of becoming that. So if you be the business you want to be, if you structure your business the way you want to be, and you be that every day, then you will become that. It's like a manifestation thing. There's a lot of kind of like podcasts and things going on actually quite recently about manifestation, and it's about be, do, have for me, rather than have, do, be. So
something that we use a lot with clients in ActionCOACH.
I can imagine.
Yeah. So in terms of the challenges then, Bruce, what are the challenges you've faced as a business owner?
Personally, sometimes it's difficult to put your finger on how you're feeling some days. So you've got to be curious about your feelings. Yeah, you've got to be yeah, there's definitely a challenge with all the personal things. Managing people is the biggest challenge, but it's fun. People are the best part of the business. Getting things done, like realizing that you have to just get on and do things, that can be a challenge sometimes. Sometimes you can worry about the like you say, that like what ifs, and mm-hmm. That's not what you should do. You should just have a go. Nothing's ever perfect. There's no such thing as perfection. You only get perfection on reflection. You can only ever look back on something that was perfect. You can't actually achieve it. So there's that for me as well.
Lots of challenges then. Yeah.
Yeah, but that's the thing. So challenges are the reason that we're living. Challenges are the reason that we're in business. And if it's not a challenge, then like you're not trying hard enough.
I love that. That's a really,
Yeah.
really good message.
Yeah.
Yeah. And yeah, it's if it was easy, everyone would be doing it.
Absolutely. Absolutely.
Yeah.
It is easy, but yeah, people don't realize that and they think it can't be this easy, can it? It's like, no, just do it that way and it'll work.
Fantastic. Who's been your biggest supporter in your business journey then?
Gosh, so my wife's always there. She's an absolutely brilliant sounding board. She's a qualified counsellor, and she's a podiatrist to trade, so worked in the caring profession all her life, but also a qualified counsellor, and you know, has fantastic emotional intelligence. And yeah, I wouldn't actually be who I am today without her. That might sound a bit cheesy, but it's totally true. So yeah, I would say what my wife's definitely it's just lovely to have. But to be honest, you know, our team, I really love the team that I work with. We have a share, learn, and connect meeting every Friday morning. So we just share something, just connect with the team, anything we've maybe learned that week. And quite often I'll just say, look, I just can't believe I work with this fantastic bunch of people. So, you know, my team are a great support to me. And yeah, I mean, I've got good friends and good business coach as well. So there's lots of people around me, and it's not a solo journey for sure.
Mm. Absolutely, that's good. Yeah, your network's so important, isn't it? And maybe just a wee shout out to your wife, because you mentioned what's her name?
Laura.
Well done,
Yeah,
Laura, for helping Bruce
yeah,
build Alto.
yeah, she's awesome.
So, who's your target client then, Bruce?
So in terms of like numbers, it's customers maybe sort of like 20 staff and above, 20 computer users and above.
Mm-hmm.
We'll support any industry. It tends to be businesses that don't have an internal IT function, or they maybe have an IT function that it's part of their role. Quite often, I feel sorry for the finance people in most businesses that seem to get lumbered with IT. But we have varying types of staff that look after IT, and somewhere people are just don't have and don't want to have anything to do with it. So, you know, 20 to 100 staff tends to be our sort of core type of business. But any industry, we look after people in the food industry, energy industry, healthcare, manufacturing. It's just anybody with a need for infrastructure of IT, and they want it secure. That's what we do.
And do you have a good example of a story of a business that you've helped, or a disaster that you've averted or something for them?
Well, on our website, there's quite a few case studies and blogs about what we do. A good story, gosh, without implicating anybody or off the top of my head. I mean, like most of our businesses have come a long way with us. They've gone from traditional computers and servers and in their office to cloud-based solutions. There's I'm trying to think. I mean, I've had situations where customers have not been too sure about going down the route of disaster recovery solutions, and we had one customer that wasn't sure, but decided it was quite a lot of money per month. Like, I don't know, it was about £600 or £700 a month for the service. And this is a long time ago. This is when people didn't even know the word cybersecurity, and they actually got hacked by an unwitting employee that put their password in to a website they didn't know about, and through the night their entire system got encrypted, so it was locked, and there was a note from a Russian hacker on the desktop saying everything's locked. You've got to pay us X amount of Bitcoin to recover all your data. We knew that the team the hackers didn't have the data; they just encrypted it. But we'd provided this disaster recovery system, and within 45 minutes of the customer realizing what had happened, we had them back up and running on their disaster recovery. Had they used a traditional method of just backing up to a disk, we reckon the amount of data that they would have been offline for up to 10 days.
Oh my goodness.
Yeah, and it was these guys they're manufacturers, they're shipping stuff every day. We reckoned minimum was 25,000 a day they were going to lose if their systems couldn't operate. So we think now, even the customer would agree, we probably avoided £250,000 loss in their business with this. So yeah, that's a good story. And it's just, I love working with businesses that we're culturally aligned. We respect each other commercially and culturally, and we come up with solutions, and they're like, let's do it. Sometimes, like any IT company, will come across certain customers that don't culturally align, and it's very difficult to work with them sometimes. So it's really nice. We've got a really good bunch of customers that want to work with us and enjoy working with us. So when you suggest these solutions and then you have an example of how they work, it's so good to see. I would never wish that to ever happen to any customer ever, but if it does, then these solutions can be there to help them out.
Fantastic, great story.
All right, I just had to pull off the top of my head. I was just trying to think of
something.
something.
Put you on the spot
That's
there,
all right.
but no,
No
that's great. Yeah, so just finishing up then, Bruce, what was the best advice you would give if you could go back to your 18-year-old self?
Oh my goodness me, my 18-year-old self. That's I think it would be believe in yourself sooner, start your business earlier. I think it took me to my 30s. I always wanted to run a business, and it took me to my 30s till I did it. And yeah, I would just say, like just believe in yourself. I had a very interesting situation or session when I was doing coaching, and I actually found out when I was 29 that I had dyslexia, and I was like, wow, I've got this far in life, and I'm doing pretty well for myself, and I didn't even know. But one of the things that I got told or heard when I was in primary school was, Bruce is just lazy. And I carried that label with me till I was in my mid-40s. And it actually has prevented me from making decisions quicker than I could have done. And if I could go back to my 18-year-old self, I would just tell him, like, you're not lazy, you're actually a hardworking guy, and you should just believe in yourself sooner. And who knows what will come your way. Just commit to things, and untold things will come your way. So there you go. It's a bit of a profound what I would tell him. I wouldn't just say, just pull your socks up and get on with it, but that's what I would tell my 18-year-old self. You're not lazy.
That's brilliant. Isn't that interesting that somebody's comment has hung on for so long? Yeah, we need to get rid of all that
it's frightening.
Messages from childhood. Yeah, really.
Yeah. I mean, I don't know the exact sort of like psychology behind it, but apparently it's around, once you kind of hit 12 years old, you've pretty much got your operating system for life in your head, and unless you choose to explore that and become aware of it and look upon it and see, well, why am I behaving in that way, then you may always operate like that. And I was operating from a place of like thinking I was lazy, and yeah, sometimes, Laura, might say I am. The dishwasher doesn't get emptied in a hurry sometimes, but
isn't there something about if you want something done the most efficiently, you give it to a lazy person? So that's not always a bad thing. So
okay, yeah, I can definitely find solutions to everything as well. So yeah, there you go.
That's brilliant. Thank you very much, Bruce from Alto. Where do people find you, Bruce?
Well, you can search me up, just LinkedIn. Welcome if anybody wants to link in with me, and welcome to share what we've chatted about today. And the website is itsalto.com, so itsalto.com. And yeah, just if anybody wants to link in, they're welcome to do that too.
Brilliant. I'm sure they will. Thank you very much for your time today.
That's all right.